Bombs are flying, people are dying, children are crying, politicians are lying too. Cancer is killing, Texaco's spilling. The whole world's gone to hell, but how are you? I'm super! Thanks for asking!
Listen to 104.1 KQTH, Tucson's News and Talk. I am the beautiful man. The sexy psychic is close at hand. Mr. Charles in charge, taking your calls at 751-1041. This is Don't Ask, Don't Tell Tuesday, brought to you by our sponsor, Adult Expectations. Pop, go to Weasel. Pop, go to Weasel, because the Weasel say pop. This is the day we unleash DJ Boss Ross, who plays some of the baddest gay bump music in all of Tucson. Don't ask him why, my friends, because he's not telling. I'm coming.
I'm coming up. I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
I'm coming. Welcome to the fourth hour of the James T. Harris Show. This is when we kind of pull back a little bit. Not that we didn't earlier in the show, but this is when we kind of put our focus on what's happening in entertainment news. We call this segment the Hollywood Get Down.
Hollywood, land of how do you do's, movie stars take twos, lights, cameras, action, and where's my leading lady?
Well, she's right here, my friends, the lovely Stephanie Dunlap, who is a digital reporter for K-Gun 9. She's in studio looking just ever so much lovely today. Welcome to the circus.
Thank you for having me, as always.
You know, Stephanie, I watched a movie. I was in Milwaukee last week. And on the flight home.
Oh, so you had an excuse to actually watch a movie. Okay.
I'm like, wow, I got a couple hours here. And I tried to download some stuff on my iPhone. That didn't work out so well. So I found the movie Passenger. Passenger was out recently. Did you see that one?
I did not see it, but what did you think of it?
It was a love story in space.
Right.
You know what? I wanted to not like it, but I kind of did. The acting at times were kind of like really strained, kind of forced.
Uh-huh.
I'm not surprised. I don't think it did very well, did it?
I don't think it did very well.
I don't think it did very well, but it's one of those movies that if you're on in a tube at 30,000 feet with a couple hours to burn, it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
I think it looked entertaining. I'm not going to say it looked good, but I'd watch it.
I thought I was ordering the movie where they were like the spaceship was coming home and it had the alien on board. I think that's still in the theaters though. That one bombed. That one released a couple of weeks ago. You know, where the was that Ben Affleck? No, who was in that spaceship coming down there? And Daddy, are you coming back, bringing it back to Earth? No, daughter, we're not. As the ship's falling, that's nobody. Okay, we're moving on. We are moving on. You know, 2016 was not a good year for celebrities as far as people dying. And we're off to a rough start.
Yeah, so we actually got this news today that MTV's Clay Adler, he actually was a reality star on, do you remember Laguna Beach?
I do not.
Do you remember Laguna Beach? Okay, so it was the spinoff show, Newport Beach. Well, one of the main cast members on that reality spinoff committed suicide.
Oh!
This happened late in March. He went on a trip with some friends to do some shooting and ended up firing on himself.
Accident, but he did it on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
With friends.
That's not good.
Yeah. So
see, this is again. Well, it's like the suicide yesterday, the murder suicide, and we found out that one of the kids that were shot died. I think yesterday evening or early this morning. But again, your selfishness. You want to do this in front of your friends. You want to do this in front of strangers. You're going to kill yourself and somebody else in accident. That's just disturbing on a multiple levels.
Yeah. So that news came out today. They did like a he was a big surfer, so him and his friends and family went out and paddled out to, in the ocean in a big circle to remember him. And so that's very sad. Another person that died this week was Peter Hansen. He was on General Hospital for 5 decades.
Oh, wow.
He died, of old age, 95 years old. But that was on Sunday, and
you missed a big one, though. There's another one. He's the 90-year-old Don Rickles.
Oh, yeah.
The great Don Rickles
Yep.
passed away last week. And we actually took some time and talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
He was a giant. A giant in the comedy and, movies, all of that. And his brand of sarcasm or what do they call it? Insult comedy. Yes. We lost a great one there as well.
Yep.
So we're in April and we're still racking them up here. I don't think any year could be as brutal as 2016 though, but it is when you lose a celebrity, especially those who made an impact with their generation. It's one of those moments where you remember where you were, type of deal.
Right. I think though every year people think this is the big year of celebrity deaths, and then next year, there's always going to be those iconic actors that are older right now and passing away.
I was in the supermarket the other day, and I saw news that Janet Jackson, didn't she marry like some gazillionaire, billionaire or something, like some kind of a dude from Morocco or something like that?
Qatar.
Okay, all right, and now she just didn't Janet Jackson? She's about 50 years old, right? Didn't she have a baby?
Yes, in January.
She had a baby in January.
Yes.
So she got a new baby by the billionaire, gazillionaire guy from Qatar.
Correct.
And now I don't know. This could be tabloid, but they said that she's divorcing.
Yes. Well, she's splitting up, which will probably end up in divorcing. She's split up with her husband, Wissam Al-Mana.
Don't even
Am I
try.
getting that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were together for 5 years.
Yeah.
Married for 5 years, so they're splitting up. So a lot of questions whether he's a billionaire. So and she's already makes 100. She has a net worth of 175 million.
I still think she should get half.
Well,
I don't know what the laws are over there in Qatar, but you know what? She should walk away with half.
Well, reports are saying that she could get up to 200 million, which is actually kind of nothing for a billionaire if you think about it. Which is sad.
Look at you. Women want more.
Well,
it's not enough.
Well, come on. 200 million when you're a billionaire, that leaves him still with 800 million. I think he'll be okay.
I think she'll be okay with 200 million.
Yeah, but now she has a baby that she's going to have. So child support.
Oh, child support. Yes, because I'm child support. I'm going to need $50 million a month to take care of this child.
For the nanny. Come on. Come on. Rich people problems.
She said that she thought that he was too controlling. Too controlling.
Or that their lives are just so busy.
Well, you know what?
That's the excuse every time I hear. We're just so busy.
How can she be? She gave up her career to marry the dude. She was walking around in the hijab thing, right? She's controlling. You're married. How did you go in thinking that this is going to be like the swingers? The man is Muslim. He lives in Qatar. Why are you what controlling? Can we get more controlling than Sharia?
You know who else is having relationship issues?
Who?
Mama June.
Oh, what? She lost all that weight.
Yeah.
She lost all her weight for what's his name, Papa Bear or Huggy Bear or
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear. She lost all that weight for Sugar Bear.
Well,
she had the fat reduction surgery. She had the fat sucked out of her neck. I saw this on a YouTube thing.
Yeah, well, she's not with him anymore. He got remarried.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what do you mean remarried? They weren't married.
They were never married.
They was shacking when they had a little honey boo boo. Yeah. Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So he had picked up. So he remarried his first wife.
Yeah.
So she was a mistress.
Yeah, this is all really hilarious.
Oh,
well,
come
kind of
on.
hilarious. So she's doing a new show called Mama June From Not to Hot.
From not to hot.
I can't get over this. So they show the wedding in the show of Sugar Bear getting married to this other woman.
Well, what's Sugar Bear's new wife's called? I don't know. Molasses?
Wow.
Sugar Bear, molasses. Sugar Bear, do you take molasses to be? Yes, I do. Molasses. Do you take Sugar Bear to be? Yes, I do.
But on a serious note,
Okay.
on Wendy Williams, she did say that she...
Ross, you're trying to be serious.
I'm
She's trying to
trying-
be serious.
I'm trying to be serious while talking about Honey Boo Boo and
Right, Honey Boo Boo, Sugar Bear, and molasses.
you know what, maybe we should just move on.
No, we shouldn't.
She was physically and emotionally abused, she said, by Sugar Bear.
Oh my God.
Not my fault.
Then why does she want him back? Did she want him back? She said she wanted him back. No, she doesn't. She said she's gonna look real good to make him jealous or make him see what she lost.
Yeah, and to
Wow.
the wife too.
Yeah.
The wife is big too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, now we gotta go with a different name than
But
molasses.
now she's
so the wife is big. So wait a minute, the wife is still big because she hasn't got anything done.
right.
So what you're saying is Gummy Bear, he's just like big women. What? What'd I say? It's like Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear likes big women.
Gummy Bear.
We have
Oh,
we're gonna
man.
let the lovely Stephanie Dunlap compose herself. We have more on the other side. You're listening to Wonderful One KQTH.
Oh my.
It's like I'm along for the ride. It happened unexpectedly.
Stephanie Dunlap, she's here in studio at the Hollywood Get Down. This is Tommy Loren.
Loren.
I can't get her name straight. She's suing Glenn Beck. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, did you? Well, we talked about this on the show. Was it 2 weeks ago about how, she was suspended from the show because of her comments on The View, being that, she was about small government and,
abortion thing and Republicans were hypocrites and that kind of stuff.
So she is suing Glenn Beck and The Blaze, which is what her little show was under, The Blaze, for alleging a wrongful termination because she was, I guess they said they were terminating that show completely, but the Glenn Beck's company's confused because they didn't actually, I guess, fire her. They just got rid of the show.
Well, I thought that she was suspended and then
right, she was suspended and then they decided to get rid of the show completely. So she was suspended for a week, came back, and they got rid of the show. My guess is she's not coming back even to The Blaze, but...
Well, that's what's going to is why since a lawsuit, and she may have cause. I mean, he may be in trouble. He should have just left it alone.
Yeah. Well, they just find it puzzling because she's still being paid, so she's suing a company that's still paying her, but I don't think they're paying her for that. I mean, she has a contract.
They'll probably pay. Okay, if they pay her out of the contract, she doesn't have cause, does she?
That's confusing because she's not doing that show. So what's she doing at? Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, obviously, what they did is suspended her. They won't let her on the air or do her show, but they're going to pay her out so they fulfill the terms for the contract.
But she doesn't believe that she should be terminated under those.
Well, if they pay you out, if you sign a 2-year contract and they don't let you on the air, but they still pay you the money, that's how it works.
Right. So.
Well, okay.
That's what's happening. But her latest tweet said, "Lay down and play dead really isn't my style." # final thoughts.
Well, go back to your old show and take that money from The Blaze.
She should just start a YouTube channel at home and she'll make tons of money off of that.
That's exactly how she got to where she, in the first place.
Right.
With the YouTube stuff. So I don't see. You don't have to lay down and play dead. You go back to your YouTube channel and keep that money.
I don't think she'll have too many problems, though.
I don't think so at all. The White House correspondents I heard about this. They hired a comedian. He's an anti-Trump hater.
Hassan Minhaj.
Right, a Muslim comedian.
He's on the Daily Show.
He is?
Right?
Is
Yeah.
he funny? Ross, have you ever heard of the Muslim comic on the Daily Show?
No.
Okay.
Well
there
he's
it
the
is.
one scheduled to headline this year's correspondent dinner, and
which means it's gonna suck.
Well, should be very different though without President Donald Trump.
Right, he's not gonna be there.
So.
I bet you it gets wide play, and they're gonna try to run it. And they'll probably take clips and put it on Saturday Night Live and all that kind of stuff. I think the Hollywood set that does these things are going to get a rude awakening because seriously, America doesn't care about that anymore. It's a new era.
By the way, did you ever see when we were talking last week and I kind of talked first day on the story about the Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial? Did you finally watch that?
God.
Because once I talked about it, it just blew up and was on everything.
We talked about it, you introduced it on the show. I talked about it in Wisconsin actually because I was amazed after I landed, getting in the car. It was the story blew up everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere, the backlash.
Because when I talked about it, it was sort of just coming out of the fire. Now it's just talked about everywhere. So you finally watched it?
We watched it. I watched it, and I don't understand what the big brouhaha is all about, but it's a generational thing, I guess, and generations don't like corporations or don't like Pepsi, solving problems the way Coke did back in the 1960s. That was my takeaway.
Well, it has seemed that way, though, that the generational thing is that, they're so in right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they were trying to do.
And they were trying to, and it boomeranged on them. Hit them right upside the Pepsi's been having a bad go at it. I heard they also spilled about a billion gallons worth of Mountain Dew in a lake, and the fish got sick from the syrup.
Oh,
that's
boy.
That's a Pepsi thing. All right, let me ask you this real quick before. Bill Cosby's children books. Why would those be removed from the library list?
This is not a huge shocker.
No,
come on.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so it is surprising.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Right. Well, what's happened is The book series has landed on the American Library Association's list of top 10 books targeted for removal from school libraries. This is the first time it's a book based on the author, not on the content. Like Grey's Anatomy books, obviously, no shocker there that those are on the list. Or Harry Potter, which actually surprised me
Why is he
because
on
of
the
the
list? Oh,
because of the
witchcraft?
witchcraft.
Well, I thought we were beyond that.
But this is the first time the author is targeted because of the author, not because of what's actually in the book.
Well, he was a serial garden tool. But wait, I say these things, but he was not proven guilty. So, that'd be like, I can understand why you would take OJ's books off of the... Well, actually, no, the glove didn't fit, so they acquitted. So, again, I don't understand this. Why would you do that? Bill Cosby's books need to stay up there, right there on the shelf.
You want Little Bill books right there.
Exactly.
That's what it's called.
Little
Bill's
Bill
books.
Mommy, when I grew up, I want to be like Bill Cosby. No. Britney Spears is... How long has she been in Vegas?
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice run.
Yeah.
It's coming to an end.
It's coming to an end in December. So if you want to see Britney in Vegas, better buy tickets now.
I didn't know Ed Sheeran was a lawsuit. Last I heard of Ed Sheeran, because he's putting out brilliant music. Sir Elton John gave him some really good advice. Told him to come out with, I think, a ballad instead of a slow song, or a fast song instead of a ballad. Change it up a little bit. He also told him to disappear for a while because you're too overexposed. You don't want to do that. And then he said the most important thing, Ed Sheeran, is don't get fat. Don't get fat. This is what the sage advice from Elton John to a young, brilliant musician.
Well, he actually, maybe it's working for him because he's been having so many great hits, but he did just settle a $20 million allegation. A plagiarism lawsuit for his song Photograph. Two songwriters came out, Martin Harrington and Thomas Leonard, that he had ripped off their 2009 song Amazing.
Did he win?
Well, they settled it for an undisclosed amount, so apparently he didn't win. But it would be interesting to listen to those two songs side by side.
It is. You know what? We'll probably play with that tomorrow or something like that, because it's very interesting when you put those two together. Anyway, I'm running out of time here. It is always a pleasure having you in studio.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Stephanie Dunlap.
Do you feel it? Oh yeah, before every day comes a night.
You are listening to 104.1 KQTH, Tucson's News and Talk. My friends, this is a little impromptu visit here. I reached out to Pima County Supervisor Allie Miller, and she, of course, is here. And that makes this a segment of Miller Time.
It's Miller time!
Yes, my friends, we have Pima County Supervisor Allie Miller in studio. Allie Miller, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, James?
I'm fine. Are you settled in? We got a news, we're into a news session this season.
I am settled in.
But we're having the same old problems. Saw a big story recently.
It never ends. It's like Groundhog Day.
It really is. It's crazy. I was thinking about Tucson while I was in Milwaukee a few days ago, and I had to tell you, I was driving through the old neighborhood in Milwaukee where I used to, my family used to live, and there's certain parts of the city where it is almost undrivable. I thought we had problems with potholes and things like that, infrastructure problems in Tucson, and we do. But I couldn't help but think, man, what is it going to take for that city, Milwaukee, to fix this type of stuff? I'm like, well, whoa, time out. What is it going to take for us, for Tucson, to fix our problems? I don't think we're as far gone as what I saw in Milwaukee last week in some parts of the city. However, we're way down the road. And what people are talking about, the amount of money that it's going to take to fix the roads, they're having to come up with, you're hearing Chuck Huckleberry, of course, talking about a gas tax or other things. But then I start to ask the question, and we've talked about it before, we're supposed to have already appropriate money for fixing the roads. And yet here we are, we're talking about the same problems. The unelected city manager is crying broke.
Right.
And now a bill's run at the legislature this session, SB 1147, to enable counties to assess a gas tax. We're back at that again.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those those kind of sneaky bills, wasn't it?
It was a striker. Yeah. So they tried to sneak that in. Unfortunately, we had 3 Democrats that did not vote for it. They stood up and stood against it. 2 Republicans stood for it. The rest of them voted against it. Thank God. Because right now we get about $84 million last year back from the state, gas and vehicle license tax money. And the root cause of the problem is that there is not enforcement teeth and there is not penalties in place in the statutes to ensure these monies go to roads. This is the problem across the country, because what a great place to raid. Right? This is what happened years ago. They started pulling money out of the road repair fund. We need an extra 10, 20 million over here. We'll move it over there. And what happened over the years is they got real used to having that money in addition to the budget. So it's become a really bad habit. It's a complete lack of leadership, and it's a complete lack of will to do the right thing with the money. So without the root cause of the problem being addressed, I would never support more gas tax. Number one, we don't even know if we need it because the money hasn't gotten to the roads for 20 years. So do we or don't we? No one can make that judgment until we get the money to the roads. And then later we might say, oh, there's not quite enough to do it. But we're in a mess now.
Okay, well, let me add a little bit of insult to injury here, because the bill did fail, as you said.
Right.
But I also understand that Pima County taxpayers had to foot the bill of $140,000 to pay the lobbyists who were working on the damn thing.
Yeah, Michael Rossi is the county lobbyist.
Oh, my God. So I gotta breathe, James, breathe.
He went up to the state legislature and worked really hard to try to get this bill passed. And, of course, myself and others got involved and were working the other side. Unfortunately, we had a pretty strong group there that stood against it because I think they understand that taxpayers are sick and tired of the easy way out. The easy way out, right, is use our taxpayers as an ATM and keep going back and asking for more.
Okay, the problem here, and I love the fact that you point out, even if we pass this gas tax, there is no guarantee that the money would be used for infrastructure because we've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years. You said that this doesn't have any teeth. There's no enforcement in there. There's no penalties if it doesn't get done.
Right.
So knowing all of that, Allie Miller, the people who are putting this forward, they're purposefully scamming, purposefully lying to the taxpayers of Pima County.
Absolutely they are, because they're not spending the money appropriately, and they're just saying, we need more. Give us more and we'll get the roads fixed. Well, who's going to believe that? I think taxpayers are tired of believing the lies, and they are lies, because it isn't a lack of money. It's a lack of will to do what they're supposed to be doing with the money.
Okay, a lack of will to do what they're supposed to be doing with the money.
Right.
But then where does, in that lack of will, where does, I don't want to call it fraud, but we're talking about mismanagement here.
Absolutely. Yes, misappropriation of the
There
funds.
it is, misappropriation.
Yes, and what they're doing is they're moving them around. For example, the county courthouse. That was a bond project, $25 million bond projects. The voters said no in August of 2015. They said, no, we don't want you to build that project. What is Chuck Huckleberry doing right now? He's building that project. And that's millions and millions of dollars that could be going to the roads. And we're talking, there's several other projects. There's another one that I have to discuss here. $3 million more to the University Banner Health Center. And we can always come up with monies for Chuck's pet projects, the things he wants to fund, but we can never come up with a penny for the roads. And I think people are onto it, and why would they trust us with more money?
Well, people are onto it, but Allie, in a very real way, and this is what was on my mind when I was, back home. Every city seems to have these problems.
Yeah.
Every city has infrastructure problems. I know it's not a sexy thing to spend money on streets and repair.
It is to me.
But here's the deal. It's not sexy because these people are seeing it as their money, as their piggyback paying. If this were responsible, it's like these are the things you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your infrastructure. What we're talking about parts of Tucson that are falling apart. What happens if we continue down this road where we continue to misappropriate funds, not taking care of vital infrastructure issues?
Well, here's my pitch to the voters is you have to contact your state legislators and encourage them and insist that they put enforcement teeth in these statutes, because until we do that, it's going to be real easy for them to continue taking that money. We get roughly $84 million this year back from the state post-sweeps, right? This is after the sweeps. That's what we're getting. And Chuck is saying we're only going to be able to spend $1 million. Well, until we have those enforcement teeth, he's gonna continue on with that $84 million, doing the same thing with it. And oh, by the way, give us a 10-cent increase, and then we'll maybe get $45-50 million, and we might spend that on roads. And that's the problem. You don't have any assurances, and Chuck Huckleberry gets to make all the decisions with where these monies goes. And that is a real problem in Pima County because, District 1 has the most failed roads. They did when I took office, and District 1 has gotten very little money for road repairs. And it continues on. And until we get the ability for the supervisors to actually decide where the road money goes, and the supervisors are the ones that the people elect, and they're going to hold us accountable. That's the way it should be. And
okay, then how do we make it that way?
Well,
what has to happen is we have to have more people lose, like Sharon Bronson, all that kind of stuff, and then we take the power away from the unelected county supervisor or
right.
administrator.
Sadly, that is what did not happen in November. The voters spoke, and they apparently approve of what's going on with our roads. Or maybe they don't understand. I'm not sure, but I know Kim DeMarco worked really hard to get the message out there. Myself, a lot of other people did. And unfortunately, the voters still vote for the same people that are keeping this county administrator in place that absolutely refuses to fix the roads.
Is it true that in order for a gas tax to be passed, that he would need to have a unanimous vote on the board?
Absolutely. The Board of Supervisors to get and that is a sales tax. It wouldn't be a gas tax.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sales tax.
He's talking about a 50-cent sales tax. You have to have unanimous approval on the Board of Supervisors to get that to pass. Would I approve that? We're in a mess The only way that, and I am looking at this, but the only way that I would consider it is if it was written into the law that the monies were only used for roads, and that there were real strict restrictions, and that the supervisors got to decide, along with the Department of Transportation, where these monies go. That is the only way that I would even consider it. And right now, those options are not on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. How much money is it going to take? How much money right now would it take to repair all the roads in Pima County?
I've heard varying numbers, anywhere from 300 to 400 million. And think about that. We get 84 million back a year. Think about that. Over the past 20 years, on average, the past 10, about 77 million a year. Those roads would be in good shape if they had been taken care of and they hadn't been neglected and the monies hadn't been diverted to other uses.
So at the end of the day, even though I want to be upset and angry, and a lot of blame does fall with the unelected county administrator, the real blame, the fault lies with the taxpayers who keep putting this mess, keep re-electing the very
same
people that's making this possible.
Yeah, and it also lies with the elected officials, because they're not standing up and being leaders and saying, no, Chuck, we're gonna find $20 million in this year's budget to spend on roads. That's my goal, and that's what I'm going to insist on, and we'll see what happens. We need one other supervisor to stand up with us. Supervisor Christie supports fixing the roads. We've had conversations about it, and we just shake our heads. We've got to get another supervisor to stand with us.
We've got Allie Miller in studio for a special edition of Miller Time. You're listening to 104.1 KQTH. We have Pima County Supervisor Allie Miller in studio. This is we used to have a Miller time. We would run it every week, but then my blood pressure started to go. No, we appreciate having you in studio, Allie. And of course, this gas issue. I mean, the road issue is real, and we still get the same old tired response from the unelected administrator that we have to raise taxes. And the simple fact of the matter is, as you demonstrated, we get $84 million a year. This has been going on for 20 years. I forgot how many you said, almost $500 million we would take to.
I've heard varying numbers from Department of Transportation. The first year I was in office, it was $300 million. Now I'm hearing between $300 and $400 million.
Right, because we're continually going in the wrong direction.
But think about that. If we spent that $84 million that we get, if that had been spent every year, our roads would not be like this. And I don't think anyone is fooled by the fact that the roads have been completely neglected for years and years. And I believe this systemic issue, or this issue with the root cause of the problem, the fact that the monies there's no enforcement teeth in the statutes, I believe that is a problem across the country. That's why we're seeing what we see, because it's the easy bucket of money to go to and move it and say, we'll use this for salaries this year. Oh, we need a little more for overhead. And what it's become is a real bad habit. That we just get dependent upon. It's like getting a bonus every year and you start living off that bonus, and then all of a sudden it's pulled. Well, what has happened is Chuck is not willing to let that money get pulled. He keeps that in there and uses it for other purposes that we shouldn't be using it for.
For the longest time, the Republican Party here hasn't had a heartbeat. I said they've been in hospice.
Mm-hmm.
But that may be changing because there is some pushback going on, and people who understand the problem are explaining it.
Yeah, there was an op-ed in today's paper written by the new Pima County GOP chair, David Eppenheimer, and he sums it up. This op-ed is he's talking about Prop 101, the City of Tucson's proposed half-cent sales tax, and he said, new leadership is the solution. Until that occurs, don't punish yourself by allowing the current misuse of your money to continue. You're paying the city council to do its job. Send a message on this ballot that it's their problem to solve, not yours. And this is what happens in Pima County as well. It always ends up going on the backs of the taxpayer. And I think this op-ed is spot on. I thought he nailed it. I was just really pleased to see that he's taking a leadership role on this and encouraging people, elect new leadership. Don't vote for new taxes. Vote for new leadership, people that will use your money responsibly and do the right thing with it.
One of the things that's just become obvious, and it's probably a good thing that is obvious. We have you on the show. You're saying what you would need in order to approve a half-cent sales tax in the county, and you would need some provisions. You would need some teeth in the bill. You would need to have some
restrictions on how the monies can be used, and also I want the supervisors, each supervisor in each district, to have the say in where these monies get spent. Not Chuck Huckleberry anymore. He's proven he can't do the job, and it's time for the supervisors who the voters can hold accountable. Let the supervisors be involved in that process with the Department of Transportation and determine where those money get spent, how they get spent. And I'd love to have each supervisor have 2 people appointed to an audit committee so that we could ensure these monies are getting to the roads. We'd have citizen auditors that would oversee those monies and make sure the monies got to the roads. Because, it's been proven we can't trust that this is the right thing's going to happen with the monies.
The problem with what you just said is it made so much damn sense. I just got all goosepimply because once again, it's the citizens being involved. It's supposed to be the elected officials that are doing this so they can be held accountable. And there's so many layers here. What the brilliance between Huckleberry is, he put a big fat a barrier between he and the taxpayers, and he has a bunch of puppets right there who are going to back him up, and that's why we're in the mess we are.
Absolutely, it is.
We appreciate your voice.
Okay.
And we'll be hearing more of it. My friends,
thank you.
Allie Miller, Pima County Supervisor Allie Miller, our special edition of Miller Time. Coming up next, we have Joe Pags, my friends. You're listening to 104.1 KQTH, Tucson's News and Talk.
Dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby.
That was a crazy show, James.
It was crazy. It was very crazy.
By the way, we just got the news that Jay Giles just died.
No, we were just talking with Stephanie Dunlap about how many the celebrities passing away in 2017.
Right.
And
You mean 2016?
2016,
Well,
and then we also
both,
did a
but
segment
yeah.
on 2017, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like moments after she leaves, that news. Well, actually, she wasn't even out of the studio when that news
Right.
broke.
So that will not be played tomorrow because they did have 2 hits.
Oh,
but I
so
have a feeling we'll hear them on Thursday.
We'll hear it on Thursday, most definitely. We'll hear them on Thursday.
Right.
Again, there was a crazy show today. A lot of people are asking about the YouTube stuff. We're not really heavily promoting it yet because we're waiting for a couple of other pieces to be put in the puzzle before we can really push it out.
It has looked good, though.
Right. What we're asking people to do is to sign up on Twitter, on KQTH's Twitter account, so you get the notifications on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. Also, we're set up on 104.1 KQTH's Facebook page, where you can also get notification. That's starting to work out kind of smoothly. So as we are, in the next couple of days, hopefully we'll be able to get those last things in place, and then we'll blast it out.
There you go.
But in the meantime, we appreciate the fact that you are still showing up for us, liking the page and sharing the page. And again, that's way cool. We even have a regular in I think it's Australia or South America. Let me see here. Where are we going? Yeah, we have a daily Australia viewer. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Over there in the land down under.
Very cool.
What's that song we played last week? A one-hit wonder?
I don't remember if there was an
How do you say when the earth is burning? Dun dun dun.
Yes.
It makes they want the white folks to give the land back to the Aboriginals.
Right.
That's a great song.
It's a good song. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
It is good.
I know folks are still mad at me because of the post I did today. If you are, stop it. Stop it. Get over it.
Talking about the Asian stuff?
No. One about the plane. Dude got kicked off the plane.
Okay.
Folks are mad at me.
Oh,
yeah.
Vietnamese guy?
Right, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The dude from Laos.
Landlocked country in Southeast Asia.
We're in enough trouble today. We'll see you tomorrow, my friends, for a one-hit wonder Wednesday.
Indeed.
All right, take care.
Bye.